Hello, my name is Luke Liu, and my presentation will be about automation. And today we will be talking about the importance of automation, the ethical dilemma it introduces, the stakeholder conflicts, and my own recommendations for solving this dilemma. So, usually when we think of automation, we often think of these big, gigantic robotic arms that can work without human help in the manufacturing field. Although this thought on automation isn't exactly wrong, it doesn't really encapsulate the entirety of automation's applicability in the world. In reality, automation is actually a lot closer to us than we think. We can find them in our electronic appliances, such as washing machines, toasters, and microwaves. We can find them all over the medical field with life support systems and ventilators that employ automatic devices to perform various tasks. When we think about it, we depend on automation a lot more than we think. So, why does automation exist? Based on what I was talking about earlier, you could say that it exists to make our lives easier. This is correct, but the answer is actually much more bigger than this. Automation and autonomous technologies have many incentives for big corporations and companies. The biggest incentive being that it removes human error. As humans, we tend to make many mistakes due to poor decision making, poor information processing abilities, overexertion of our bodies, etc. As we can see in the graphic to our right, we humans are highly susceptible to injuries and mistakes in the work environment. The fact that we are human means that we make mistakes. It's just how it is. Autonomous technology, on the other hand, is void of these qualities, allowing it to perform its tasks with accuracy greater than that done by human hands. Automated equipment is also capable of producing much larger production volumes than a regular human force because of its ability to perform tasks without error repeatedly for long periods of time. This ultimately means more profit for big companies. Lastly, automation improves safety in the work setting because of the simple fact that they have replaced humans in doing their own jobs. Jumping off from the fact that these autonomous technologies have replaced humans leads to our dilemmas: structural unemployment and conflict between corporations and engineers. So, to define structural unemployment is a form of unemployment caused by shift in technology and other factors. Because of all the incentives I talked about earlier that automation brings, corporation leaders ask, why use human workers when there is a more cheaper and more productive option in the form of automation? This ultimately leads to mass unemployment of working class people, which lead to more problems such as an increasing wealth gap and class war between the wealthy and working class citizens. Although automation does make the work environment safer, automation used by larger corporations only care for the workers in their own respectable work environment and not their life outside of this environment. Although this dilemma is caused by big corporations employing automation, it is also controlled by the engineers that create this technology, which leads us to our stakeholder conflict. So, as I was talking about earlier, big corporations want autonomous technology in order to maximize their productivity, efficiency, and profit, in order to make money. In order to get their hands on this technology, engineers are needed to, you know, design and create this technology, which brings us to our conflict in question. Do engineers abide by what the corporation wants them to do, or do they care for the well-being of the workers? Will they be responsible for the unemployment of the masses? So my recommendations for this problem would be to put more effort and resources into job retraining and education. As we can see on our right in the graphic, there is an increasing amount of knowledge and skill needed to retain a job. If we better equip our workers or manual workers, they will be able to keep up with automation and will be able to work with the machines, which brings us to my second recommendation. Workers should work with machines instead of machines replacing the workforce. And lastly, my my last recommendation would be to create autonomous technology for the purpose of assisting the current workforce instead of replacing them in order to maximize whatever the company's goal is. Um, that is it for my recommendations. Thank you very much for listening, and these are my references. Thank you very much.